So, therapeutic awareness. As a reminder, everything here is like 3/4 of a year to a year old. Sunflower seeds, something. Therapist, therapy, therapeutic support. So sometimes you need to be held in like a brace so that when you let go, then you go back into your position. So awareness is like that. It's like when you're given like a construct, when we are now in the position, and then we lose the awareness, we still know how to come back. So basically, I shouldn't have said almost 3/4 of a year to a year old. It is more like, yeah, we're winding down. We went through a lot of these already, all these notebooks. We're catching up very slowly, but almost there. I probably have like 2 more. I'm in the middle of one now, actually. So let's see. Just to get a check-in, this is book 12. And we're going to get up to, until we actually catch up soon, book 15. So the gap is getting narrower, and we'll be there soon. So eventually, perhaps when the world is ready, it'll be live. It'll be the downloads and the transmission. Perhaps so. And we don't have that much left to this one. It's like a 6th or an 8th or something like that. Or 7th. 7th sounds good. Okay. Maturity. Basically, hypocrisy is about, through boundaries, respect, maturity, neediness. Boundaries, respect, maturity, and neediness. So it actually came up. Somebody told me they didn't like my boundaries, and they felt that I was needy. And what bothered me about them was maturity and respect. So at least 2 out of 4 I'm not bothered by. So fear, someone will cheat on me once I finally commit. This is being reflected back to me by a man. And let my guard down enough to relax and trust. Or they're already secretly dating someone else in the same situation where I get caught off guard in trusting them. And the loyalty, faithfulness, and I also don't want to move somewhere with someone and be left alone because they discard me or dump me or drop me. Even seeds have little, I don't know, maybe that was from a salad I ate earlier. Oh gosh. So basically, trust issues. Disappointment. Someone got triggered and mean, accusing, unfair, defensive, aggressive when I was defending my relationship with my mother, and someone else when I was defending a poor non-Jewish lady who needed a drink, while deep breathing. Oh wait, guilt. Okay, that was done. Okay, I was defending a poor non-Jewish lady who needed a drink. Okay, guilt. We did a few here. Okay. While deep breathing, it helps the neck pain most. A big reason I became Torah observant was because I thought that I could make God stop hurting me, and so far nothing else had worked. I feel a lot of my fatness at the time of writing seemed to be buried anger and rage that I couldn't safely access or express, and which is a way to manifest physical distance from people, especially men, because I didn't trust anyone at that time, or I didn't trust myself to choose wisely who I let inside, to protect my insides, to embrace even the food and consume the temporary fulfillment, because it's better to bond with something of substance than with nothing at all. And even though it would be best to bond with myself, since I have to be with myself anyway forever, I had felt so lonely for someone who isn't me. Just everyone had disappointed me, that I became old. I thought about myself that way, as in the sense that I'd become embittered, sour pickles. I'm reading this, I'm trying to take it seriously to be in the moment, but there's so many versions. Okay, in my sense of ease and summoning up or accessing the activation energy for getting myself out there more. I want to move this a little. Fruitfully, or advancing in my strength of resilience to tolerate what seems to be, at least in some inevitable, what seems to be at least some inevitable element of abuse or disregard that's present ubiquitous in every relationship, and I eventually fold inward, yet the inner creases seem to not meld, and so I have inner division like a divided will. I want to be held and surrender into a loving embrace, but I also don't want to give up control and be touched in a way that seems teasing, withholding, or violating me. There's a man that is triggering a lot of this in my life right now. I feel I do want him to, I want to be held and surrendered in a loving embrace, but I also don't want to give up control and be touched in a way that seems teasing. I just blocked myself, teasing, because I felt like for a moment I got afraid that he could be listening to me saying this right now, and I wanted to make sure that it was clear that I didn't write this about him. Like, that's what's saying I didn't want to give up control and be touched in a way that seems teasing, violating, or withholding, but that's what's been triggering me. It's hard to believe. So therapeutic awareness could sometimes be like a many months in advance birthing reality. Anyway, autoimmunity, most important, a correct response that something is wrong, but not a true response, because I'm trying to attack the wrong part, the entity, or even core aspects of myself, resulting in it is symptoms like inflammation, redness, swelling, soreness, fluid buildup, aka edema, that isn't helpful because it's just from an overloaded or oversensitized system and not actual threat that needs to be contained. And two more, we have possessions. I do well recently when I have some new items like clothing, shoes, jewelry, perfume. At the time of writing this, now what's happened is there's been a change in this pattern that is amazing, something I'm grateful for, but not how it used to be. It's now I was trying to make sure that wouldn't happen. So now I have items still that are kind of like the new stuff. Okay, so I do, at the time I wrote this, I was having some new stuff like clothing, shoes, jewelry, perfume awaiting me on standby, so I didn't have to feel I have to go get anything new. So actually, because I worked on this, it paid off. Like, it's amazing. I wrote this, let's say we say 9 months ago, maybe it's like a baby time, because, or maybe more. Maybe now I'm seeing what came out, because I already have the new items, and I know that acquiring physical objects is not a real solution to anything that seems like a real problem. And then fortitude, the ability to just pay attention in the now and keep moving forward on the momentum wave of life so that the future can come envelop me as I am born into the unknown made known. I want to talk from a few teachers now, except when I was thinking of my current level of wellness is something I wrote in the past, but still worth talking about, that not seeing either or, not thinking that everything depends on only one part, letting there be many opportunities, options, potentials, possibilities. As a creative, resourceful, seeing the many constant choices as freedom, believing in the various ways things can arise and unpredictable variables can impact alternative outcomes. Change, adapt. Maintaining curiosity when seeing why it might feel like there's only one path or option, or just even on an either or. Like, for example, I feel I need to have my own bathroom because I have to use bathroom often, and I don't want anyone to smell my waste, or I feel like another person may not have as clean toilet habits as me for me to want to sit on the same toilet seat and trust them with cleaning the surfaces. However, I can work all these out via communication, risk, compromise, agreements, small behaviors and tools, easy even to apply. Yeah, and then when it comes to verbally implementing healthy boundaries that become healthily, that become aware of the reality of via expression or disengagement. That doesn't work for me. This conversation isn't helpful right now. I agree with parts that I feel true, but I don't let the other person get me angry. Like, but I could reflect back, you're coming across as cornering me to show me to share more than I wanted to, but by saying things that don't apply, and I have to defend the truth in order to qualify that what you're saying is false. Or it seems like you want to violate or interrupt or disrespect or be aggressive or yell, accuse, pigeonhole, or vilify. Or I don't agree to an arrangement that you get the right to violate, or any of the other previous examples, but I don't have the right, nor do I want to. I'm not available for that. Why is it that you get to criticize me and judge me, but if you feel criticized or judged, you feel your sensitivities have been disregarded unfairly? And also I was thinking like at the time of writing, the current desired spiritual level to be maintained daily. I wanted to serve and be served, give and be given to, share best self, and allow others to be perceived as sharing their best self, bring out the best in others and allow the best to be brought out of me, let everyone come to me with their offerings of good and go to whomever I go with my offerings of good. Now what's interesting is these are the babies that we planted before the winter. That's what I'm realizing. So 9 months, it doesn't have to be 9 months, 7, 8 months could be, because let's say we're coming in April now, so it was March, February, January, December, November, October, September-ish, end of August, September. That's about when I wrote this, and that's when we were planting our last, could be, yeah, something like that. I don't think it was a year. I think it was for sure less. And ways that I was addressing the fact that I had gone up 3 sizes in a year. And I now probably have gone down the 3 sizes from, I was a medium on top and a large on bottom, and I became, at that time, a 2XL on top and a 3XL on bottom. So how I dealt with it was, and I've lost a lot of weight since then, probably close to where I was at the time, if not basically there. Maybe not, I'm not sure exactly. Anyway, going to OA meetings, turning over my food, like turning over my food daily, which means you actually have to do a food log. You can't eat anything unconsciously, just shoving it in your mouth. You have to kind of keep track. I mean, there could be mistakes I made, but I tried not to make any mistakes. Stretching, and I basically said, you can't make mistakes. You have to know exactly what you eat. You have to do it. You have to. I made a rule. I have to turn over my food every day. So I couldn't eat things without remembering what they were. Like, for example, I'll do it with you now. I had soy milk with maple syrup and basically my coffee. Then I had orange juice. I had plantains. I had leftover French fries. So I had orange juice and plantains as a snack. Then I had, or maybe as like a light breakfast. Then I had leftover French fries with chimichurri as a lunch. And then I had for dinner salad and tons of sunflower seeds. I was actually still hungry, but that was all the food I had, and nothing's open and I can't go out at this time when it is close to 5 a.m. So I just really actually don't think I ate enough today. I can make a carrot salad. I have carrot and garlic, but it is, yeah, I slept during the day, so that was why I'm, not slept during the day, I slept in, which is why I'm still awake. Other things I did, stretching, mild movement, 10 minutes every day, walking to Prospect Park pretty often. So I took a lot of break during the cold weather, but I started doing it again a lot. It's about 1.4 to 1.8 miles each way, plus walking usually at least half to 1 mile each time in the park, 2 times a week or every 3 days. Trying not to be on the phone when I eat, trying to incorporate more fruits and vegetables in my diet, trying to speak honestly with people about my experience, journey, weight, etc. I used to be, I still go a lot in a dance class, at least once a week, sometimes 2 or 3 times a week, in order to come more into my body with my soul and spirit. Being aware of how the animal products, meat, chicken, dairy, have a lot of hormones, and limiting them will help me get more hormonal balance and also lose weight that's hormonal. And actually, I have barely eaten any. I don't think I've eaten any meat at all. I ate chicken almost not at all, and I think dairy, like, maybe once, I think. Remembering that muscles ask for healthier foods that fat and adipose ask for. Fat is adipose tissue, ask for feeding, it's trying to feed my muscles. And I wanted to share from two experts. So we have Sean Sheshan Hashmatpour, TFAR, thought, feeling, action, result. Thought, feeling, action, result. Thought, feeling, action, result. Thought, feeling, action, result. Thought, friends really enjoy being around me. Feeling good about myself, feeling proud. Action, more open. I become more open, more comedic, more relaxed, more expressed. And result, closer bond experience with them. So the thought creates the result. Thought, feeling, action, result. TFAR. It's not about the friends, it's about my thoughts about them. I'm having a relationship to my thoughts about things or people or situations. So if we look at it like an upside down tree, the root is the thought, then the feeling is the trunk, the action is the branch, and the result is the fruit. So it's like, I think that I'm rooted in the fact that people like to be around me. So then I have the feeling like I'm liked and I belong, and then the action is to be myself around people, and the result is that I can actually have friendships with people and people like to be around me. So then Chelsko on Instagram said there's love languages and toxic traits that actually they match. So if the love language is acts of service, it's usually someone who doesn't ask for help. If the love language is quality time, then it's usually someone who's an isolator. If the love language is physical touch, the toxic trait is avoidance. The gift giving love language, the toxic trait is impulsive shopping. The love language of words of affirmation is a toxic trait, would be going silent. So what we do is often what we need or what we were deprived of, we often try to give to others exactly in that area. So just think for a moment now. There's somebody that I've been wanting words of affirmation from, and they've been going silent. It's a toxic trait they have. And that also means that their love language would be words of affirmation. And then when it comes to avoidance, like I see a toxic trait of avoidance, I could then say their physical touch would be their love language. So their love language is physical touch and words of affirmation. And then think about myself. So I feel like quality time is like my love language, but then my toxic trait is isolation. And then physical touch, I think, is also my love language, but only like in the right way. And maybe avoidance would be a toxic trait. Going silent, I have both. Sometimes I go silent because I'm for maybe not the best reason, and then sometimes for the best reason, and sometimes I speak words of, in other words, my going silent could be a love language, or it could just be, it's not, a toxic trait. It's just that sometimes I'm like in my own bubble and I'm not saying anything. I'm just enjoying the quality time. So that would be, yeah. All right. Okay. Bye. Have a good one. Oh, wow. 17 minutes. 17 means tov.